And Jamie, welcome to Cheltenham. What made you mind up for this club?
I suppose my first meeting really. I spoke to the manager about a month ago. We had a good chat. He sort of laid his plans out, what he sort of expected of me, my role at the club and stuff. And I come away from the meeting sort of very positive. And I think after that, I sort of spoke to a few other people, other people that knew the club, and they said how good the place was and how they'd enjoyed their time here. And I just sort of went away and then just sort of had a good think about it really. Spoke to a few other teams and there was a bit of other interest. I was quite happy with the meeting, like I say, that I had, and it was just a case of sort of going away on holiday, relaxing for a bit, and then coming back and tying everything up.
I suppose geographically it makes sense for you as well, being West Country based.
Yeah, it does help. I've always said I'd like to eventually settle down here and sort of move back home to Bristol. I've been obviously moving around a hell of a lot in my career, and I was quite settled playing for Exeter. Obviously, they wasn't able to offer me a contract, so it was a case of, right, am I going to be sort of up and moving up the motorway somewhere else again? But this offer come up, and like I said, it wasn't just about being local. There was a lot more to it that made me sign. And if I didn't feel it was right, then I'd have moved and moved away again. But thankfully it's worked out. Being close to Bristol and as a club really, so I'm very fortunate.
And the homework you did on Cheltenham, I suppose, obviously what they've done coming close to promotion for the last 2 years kind of speaks for itself. But who else did you speak to then?
I spoke to Barry Hills, who'd obviously been here. Had a good chat with him. He enjoyed his time here. He knew the manager and spoke highly of him. So, he's a close friend of mine. So I trusted him and on that. Obviously Stevie Elliott, I've sort of come across in the off season. Spoke to him. I think he had an inkling I was a chance of me signing. So he was telling me to get it all done and saying how he has enjoyed it here. So when you speak to people that are at the club, that always helps. And obviously I've seen the progress the club's made. Obviously played against them, last year, and I was impressed with them. Unfortunately, obviously they missed out on going up. So it's 2 years now. So hopefully the club's progressing, and this year we can go that step further and get out of the division.
I've spoken to Mark about you, and he mentioned your hunger. Just how do you maintain that hunger? Because it's not just the goals you score, but it's the number of games you play as well.
I love the game basically, and I suppose I don't want it to end. I still treat it like I was when I was a kid. I love playing football, enjoy the buzz of it, enjoy scoring goals, and that's not left me. And I'm sort of quite raring to go again already, really. So I suppose that's what I do, and that'll be a key thing. When I lose that, then that'll probably be the time I have to stop, or my legs will stop. So at the moment, I just love playing football. I love everything about it. I watch it all the time, and follow it constantly. If I play computer games, it's football. Everything is my whole life. So I suppose that's kept my hunger going. Like I say, I just have a real buzz of atmospheres and scoring goals and just everything about it. I suppose that's why I've kept going.
I'm sure Steve Elliott will welcome your arrival here. That now means he's only the second oldest player in the squad.
Yeah.
Just sort of, how much do you relish that sort of, I suppose, getting one over on the younger boys?
I suppose it's quite nice. I mean, it's funny, a lot of the younger players that I've played alongside now all seem to find it amazing that I can still run around and still do the job. And a lot of them, I'm probably nearly double their age. My daughter's nearly 15. Probably a lot of them very close to their age that I've played with. So, yeah, it's nice that the younger players look at me and sort of see what I do and are quite amazed by it. But like I say to them, if you do the right things and look after yourself, then there's no reason why you can't play on a lot longer. And I think now the age of people retiring is getting a lot greater. There's a couple of players, Kevin Phillips and Ryan Giggs, that are older than myself, that are still doing a real good job. So yeah, it is nice. I enjoy the banter. I probably look a bit younger than a lot of them as well, so I tend to throw that back at them.
Well, I was going to mention Kevin Phillips, and I suppose with strikers, the first yard's in your head anyway, isn't it? And coolness under pressure, that you don't lose that, do you?
No, and I think mine now, I lost my pace probably a while ago, but I'm sort of quite sharp over a few yards, which I think is, as a forward, is all you need. And then upstairs, obviously, if you put yourselves in the right positions, then normally you don't need to be the one that can chase around everywhere. It's just about putting yourself in good positions and obviously being able to score goals. So I've tended, my movements always help me out, and just that little first 5 yards. And I've probably got better at it as I've got older, because I've learnt the game a lot more and I've understood it more. So most people I see or haven't seen in a long time tend to think I look fitter now than I did 10 years ago. So I'm obviously doing something right, and I intend to carry that on. And and keep playing for a long time. You know, I've not seen any end to it yet, and I know what happens. The first thing people throw up when I sign somewhere or whatever is my age, and is it the last year, and was last year scoring the goals I did, you know, was that it for me? And I understand that that's going to probably follow me around until I retire, but you know, I feel as fit as I did 3-4 years ago, and you know, I don't think I'll lose my goal scoring instinct. So you know, I'm confident I can keep doing a job for, you know, 2-3 more years.
Personally, and for the team, what's the aim of this season got to be?
I suppose after the last few years, it has to be promotion. I'm sure when we sit down, when the manager's in and the squad's all together, we'll have a meeting on what we want to achieve. And you know, I know in my head I'd like to achieve promotion. That's sort of why, you know, another reason I come here. The club's done so well and progressed each year that you know, I don't want to come somewhere and just be happy to, you know, just get by. You know, I want to push on and achieve something. So, you know, I think the aim has to be, you know, getting promotion, whether that's the top 3 or this time, you know, going up in the playoffs rather than failing. So that has to be the aim, definitely. You know, there's no point resting on the laurels and expecting things to happen. We have to attack the season and you know, go out and sort of just improve on what they've done, you know, because they've done so well, and it just really is that little bit extra. And you know, hopefully, you know, I can add that and the other new players that come in, and we can push on.
Great stuff, thank you.
No problem.
Jamie, the game at Exeter in April, what do you remember about that? Because you did cause Stevie and Mark Hector a few problems.
I
in the
probably
first
should
half.
have scored. That's probably the first thing. You know, I probably could have had 1 or 2 goals, and maybe we could have come away with a win. But unfortunately, I think we conceded quite early on. Then we had our chances in the first half, and then I think the second half sort of petered out a bit really, and both teams, you know, didn't really create a lot after that. But I would say, yeah, the first thoughts is, yeah, I should have scored against them.
Yeah, you're coming up to 250 career goals, I think. Have you looked at that, and is that something you'd like to pass?
Yeah, definitely. I set aim like targets all the time, and I think I'm 3 goals away from it. So the target will be to score my first goal for Cheltenham. You know, as every sort of striker coming into a new club, you want to score straight away. So that'd be the aim. But yeah, to get 3 quickly, get to 250, because otherwise, as you know, we'll be talking about it until I get it. So that'd be key for me. It'd be a big sort of milestone for me to get 250, and then it's a case of kicking on after that. But yeah, from the end of the season, I was thinking about trying to get to 250, and hopefully I can achieve that quite early on, and you know, set more targets and keep moving on.
Yeah, I think it's only Kevin Phillips that's got more goals than you of anyone playing at the moment. So would you like to get that title as well?
Yeah, it'd be nice. Yeah, definitely. I need him to retire, but yeah, it'd be nice. You know, as personal, you always set targets and like to be achieving things. And at the moment, yeah, he's the only one playing that's got more goals. So hopefully, with them in the Prem, he won't play that many more games, and I can get a season of 20 plus again, and hopefully overtake him. But you know, he's great. You know, I look up to people like that are still playing at their age. So it is good, and it gives me inspiration. At 39, you know, well, there's no reason why I can't still be playing. So you know, I think I play a bit more games than him and Ryan Giggs purely, but they have a bit more of a break than me. But it's great. I think to see older players still performing at a high level is, you know, is real good.
Yeah, so you've got nearly 250 to choose from. Any favourite goals so far, or the most important goals you've scored?
Probably the one that stands out the most is my goal for Reading against Brentford, which secured us promotion. It's made me a hated figure every time I go to Brentford, but you know, I suppose as in the importance of what it achieved for us getting promoted, and I think off the back of that, Reading have sort of really moved on. They've ended up with 2 sort of promotions to the Prem, and the club's really changed, and you know, I still get memories of, or people sort of let me know that was sort of the main sort of reason for it. Once that promotion was secured, the club sort of was really kicked on. So to be involved in that and to play a big part in a club like Reading, it's been great. So I suppose that's the one that stands out. I do remember more, but that's probably the main one that achieved probably the most for a club.
Yeah, you mentioned Barry Hales. You played up front with him at Rovers, obviously. And what is there any particular player you like playing up front with? And as Mark mentioned, Byron Harrison to you much yet?
Yeah, I mean, I've always tended to play with a big striker. It's only probably been later on in my career where Exeter, where I've played up front my own quite a lot, and maybe with a playmaker in behind. So it has changed. I mean, I've spoke to a lot of people at my younger age would never think I could play up front on my own, but I think the way the game's changed, and with wingers and stuff, I've managed to sort of achieve that. But yeah, in general, I've always played alongside a big strapping striker like Chris Ulumu, Jason Roberts, Martin Butler. I've always played with a big forward, so you know, that's what I have been used to. But I've tended to now I can do both, where I can play as a lone one as well. So it's good. Hopefully it'll give the manager options. And like I say, we have got a big striker here, so it'd be nice to maybe have someone take the kicks for me for a change. It'd be good.
Yeah, you played at every level, haven't you? You played in the Premier League with Norwich, is that right? Sort of
Yeah,
early in
that
your
was where I
career.
started.
What was
I
that like?
started. I think it was '95, so a long time ago. I started my career there. That was great. It's a shame that was a sort of a real short period where I played. I think maybe made about 17 appearances, and we ended up getting relegated. And I was never having the opportunity to go back there. But obviously that's where I started, so it was a good achievement for me. And since then, obviously I've played at every level. And sort of last few years, it's been or the last sort of season was my first full season in League Two. And thoroughly enjoyed it, and hopefully I can enjoy another season there.
Yeah, do you think you'll travel up with Stevie being in Bristol? You live in Bristol, don't you?
Yeah, oh yeah. From speaking to him, he was quite pleased that that was sort of one of the reasons I think he wanted me to sign, so he'd save on a bit of petrol money. So yeah, I mean I'll be looking to move down. My wife's up in Essex at the moment, so I'll be looking to move down and live, whether in Bristol or just outside. My kids are in Chippenham, so I want to be closer to them. So yeah, I'll be around locally, and I'm sure Steve will be calling me for a lift.
Yeah, just finally, I know it's not an easy one to answer, but what do you think is the key to the amount of goals you've always scored? Because you have scored goals throughout your career.
I'm not sure. I mean, I tend to, put myself in the right position for some reason. I think it's just been a natural thing. I've done it from a kid, youth level, right the way through. I've always managed to score goals, and I'll do anything to score a goal. I think that's another sort of key ingredient. I enjoy the buzz after scoring, everything. But I don't know. I've just been born with probably an instinct, like a lot of forwards would probably say, and I tend to be in the right place at the right time, and thankfully I've had a technique where I've been able to take them. So it's not left me yet. So hopefully I've got a few more years of scoring a lot of goals.
Yeah, brilliant. Cheers, Jamie.